Christ. Let's get on with this fucking news.
So Rachel Reeves on the
This is the only
rocks.
way I find out about the news. What's happening?
So you come to the wrong place. If this is the only place you come, Rachel Reeves may. Well, it looked like she might be gone, fired, let go, forced to resign.
Did she balls up buying a house as well, like Angela Rayner? And
Well, she was trying to rent out her house. I mean, just if people
Why
just
don't they speak to the housing minister and get some housing advice?
if people just got on with their jobs instead of constantly trying to make money through property.
Money out of their housings.
But I think she's going to stay, unfortunately, because I made the prediction. We made two predictions this year, didn't we, Matt? As I'm sure you well recall. My prediction was that Rachel Reeves will go, and your prediction was world peace.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Now,
Mine is still on.
well, they're both still on.
I am the chosen one.
Let's stick with Rachel Reeves for a second. She's probably not going to go for this, but the big thing is going to be the budget coming up. If she she's going to do the budget, and whatever she does, basically, I can't see how she stays. So that's my big moment. I've still got 2 months. It's looking very likely. As far as world peace is concerned, within the calendar year, how do you think you're doing?
Well, we're still here.
Okay.
But no, I'm not doing very well. Well, I mean, there's small wars going on, like the Venezuela one.
There's a small war here and there.
A small war.
A little war.
A little.
What does that mean?
A little local matter.
It involves brown people. It's small until Europe gets involved, basically.
Yeah.
Is Ukraine small?
No, Ukraine is big.
It's about the height of the people involved.
It's about how well they speak English. Damn it.
Okay. And Ukraine's a bad one.
In Ukraine's case, this is how their president sounds. He speaks perfect English.
He speaks like a Decepticon.
Speaks like a Decepticon.
So that's Rachel Reeves. Anyway, she might go. Hopefully, she'll go soon.
Yeah.
Just for my prediction's sake, if anything else.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you another thing that you may not have seen is that Trump has said, "Oh, we're going to resume nuclear testing." Did you see this yesterday?
No.
Just in time for Halloween, by the way, everyone.
Did they? I didn't know they stopped, but that's good. What are they going to see if it still does start? Oh, it still blows up everything. Well, that's good to know.
No, you'd know if there'd been nuclear tests over the past 35 years because they stopped them, and they're big news when they're done.
Okay.
The last time there was a nuclear test, except for by North Korea and possibly by India, Pakistan, or I don't remember any of them.
They must have tested
way back in 1995 when the French tested them.
Oh, I do remember that actually.
On some little islands. But no, the Americans haven't tested them since about 1990, maybe even a year or two.
It'd be so funny if none of them work anymore.
Well, yeah, and I was thinking if we talk about this, like, just because it's been 30 odd years,
it's like this time of year. This is when
all you kids out there, when
truckers.
we talk about testing nuclear weapons, and you truckers, and you kid truckers, and you kids who are pretending to be scary.
We haven't got onto kid truckers yet, but we will.
Yeah. When we talk about testing nuclear weapons, we're not saying, it's just to make sure that they're all nice and safe. It's not that. It's a way of threatening the other side by saying, look, we've got big weapons. I don't think there'd be many tests where they're like, fucking hell, that didn't work very well, did it? It only blew up a fucking size of a fucking
So when did
stadium.
India and Pakistan get nukes?
Late 90s.
So are you saying they may have not tested them at all?
I think they must have done, but I don't think they made a big. I don't remember it being a big.
And I don't know where they could test them as well. Particularly in India, it's a very, very crowded place. It's not like they own loads of islands around the world where they can do all their stuff.
They probably would have done underground tests, but yeah, I don't remember there being any major testing. But they probably, like you say, probably don't really need to. Right, as long as you can find one little area.
Well, you never know. I mean, now is the right time to test your heating, Matt. Have you tested your heating this winter? You want to test it now before it gets too cold, because you never know, something might have gone wrong. I always do it every year. It's a little tip.
Yeah, but what? The, no one needs to know about my heating. Who gives a
Oh,
shit?
suddenly we've found a sore spot for Matt. This is too much information. Is this where you draw the line?
I don't know
Test it.
what to
No one
say
needs to
about
know about
my radiators.
my heating procedures, whether I test them or not. It's no one's business. Okay, other stuff
Well,
that's
it's
happened.
just such a distraction.
Oh, you want to talk about it
now?
now?
Now I'm going to talk about it. So the other day, I was thinking about whether to, because the bath isn't draining properly and hasn't done for about
That's
a year,
not to relate it
and
to the
then,
heating.
and then the heating wasn't working, and then the engineer came round and said, "Well, it might be that there's a backup of water log from the bath, which might be causing problems with the ignition in your P43 boiler. So you might want to get that checked out." So I called around. Anyway, exactly. Do you want to know anything more about that?
Well,
Do you want to know about my fucking experience with Dyna-Rod, or do you want to get on with the goddamn news?
I asked you a simple yes or no question. Have you tested your heating?
No, I don't know how to test my heating. I just see if it works or not.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Andrew,
We'll have given Granddude a fucking...
oh no, Granddude's going to be right on that. Got to look good for Granddude. How are you looking?
Sipping his fucking Thatchers and black ever more swiftly.
So,
Tension.
Andrew.
Yes.
I was going to say Prince Andrew, but it's not right now.
Oh, yeah.
Just Andrew.
Andrew Mountbatten Windsor?
Something like that, yeah. So he lost his titles.
Yeah.
What's that mean for Britain? What's
that
mean for your weekend?
It's kind of symbolic, isn't it? I don't know. What do you think it sort of means? It's like...
Is it?
What do you say about the royal family? They sort of just...
It's just a bit...
Just a thing, and it's a symbolic thing. Well, it's not a symbolic thing, though, because it is... They've got massive power and privilege.
And money.
And that's often... And money. And that's often elided in the debate, isn't it? Like, they do have quite a lot of influence, really.
So,
I'm not sure what the sort of ninth in line to the throne, having his titles changed.
I love, like, I'm trying to... Okay, I understand. You've got nothing to say. I was trying to help you out there, but you're like, no, I'm gonna finish my point of that I have nothing to say about this. Do not interrupt me while I finish this incredible point. So anyway, yeah, Andrew's lost his titles. Mandelson has kept his. What do you think about that?
What, he's still a lord?
Mm-hmm. Or whatever he is. I guess he's a lord. Yeah, Lord Mandelson. That's right. Yeah. So, do you think he should lose his?
Well, isn't Andrew...
It's a simple yes or no.
I don't think anyone's saying that Mandelson has done anything wrong. So, like, in terms of, like, he hasn't had like a string of 40 prostitutes to his fucking hotel room, has he? Peter Mandelson. So I don't know.
Labour representatives have been asked on the news whether Mandelson should lose his title.
What do you think?
Well, you think he hasn't done anything wrong? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm sure he's done lots of things wrong. So
why is he still not? Why is he not ambassador still?
Well, for all the usual reasons that Starmer keeps firing people, is that they don't look very good to be on the front bench, but he's still going to keep them on the back bench because there's nothing. It's sort of a little bit something.
Well, he's not on the back bench; he's in the House of Lords.
In the House of Lords, yeah.
So you think
the real backbench, the backbench over there?
Well, okay. If you really want to get into it, there's a technical difference there, which is that you're voted for as a member of Parliament if you're in the House of Parliament, and so it's not actually in Starmer's hands whether you'll be sitting there or not. It's democratically elected. You can say that he or she is not going to be a Labour representative, but you can't take them out there. You're simply just losing numbers and gaining the number of independents, right? But you could make it so that Mandelson's not a lord, but you seem to not. You just don't seem that interested. I think which it's interesting that you don't really seem to care about this particular topic very much.
Well, the one that you raise every week.
Yeah, the one that I'm trying to weaponize against people like you. Yeah, look, you're shrugging
I
your
don't know.
shoulders.
What do you think?
Well,
I don't know.
I think that I mean, we can't even say it on YouTube. SA
Yeah,
against minors.
yeah,
It's a very serious issue.
yeah.
And
But nobody's
Mandelson, who was
accusing
very,
Mandel.
very high in the British government at the time, was talking about helping and fighting these issues that Epstein was facing in the US.
Yeah,
And you're like, well, yeah, he's in the House of Lords. What can you do? It's that kind of denialism, isn't it, Matt? That we see all over the place in the Labour Party and in centrist politics. Sort of shrugging of shoulders. It's not really a big issue.
You could fire everyone.
Understating the problem.
Couldn't you just like everyone's related to it? It's
Right.
You could say that Keir Starmer should go for that reason.
Yeah,
as well,
yeah, probably.
because he
Yes, this is
Peter
the
Mandelson.
weaponization of anti-Semitism. Now you're getting it. Yes,
Yeah.
everybody is implicated. Everybody should go. Where
Yeah,
does it end? Nowhere.
yeah.
Never ends.
You can always say that about anything.
And so you agree, or you're still shrugging your shoulders about this heinous
Well,
crime?
I'm not agreeing or disagreeing. I'm just.
You're on the fence.
ask-
You're on the fence
Yeah,
about this.
I'm on the fence like most of these things.
That's
I'm just asking.
disgusting. I can't believe you're on the fence about such a heinous crime that we can't even say on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
bizarre.
you make a very. Do you know what? You make a very good point about anti-Semitism, don't you? And you do it in a very creative way.
You shouldn't understate the problem, Matt. You're part of the problem if you do so. Actually, I was thinking about this.
Yeah.
So, what is it that links centrists particularly to this issue? Why is it such an explosive, such a intrinsic part of political parties and individuals who are involved in centrist politics? One of the things is that they deny, or they're like within their political framework, their political understanding, they don't believe in conspiracy theories. Now, what kind of situation, what kind of political ideology would be the best for conspiracy theories to thrive? One in which nobody believes that they're possible and laughs in the face of them ever existing. So that, I think, is one of the reasons why all of this sort of stuff happens in centrist politics, because they cannot believe that it could ever happen. How about that for an argument?
Yeah, I'll watch that back later and see if I can figure it out.
Anyway, that's not the big news.
Any comments on what the fuck you're saying
Yeah,
down below,
yeah.
please? It does actually sound very good.
Let
I
me know
instinctively know that was a good point.
what the timestamp for that would be called, Matt. Whatever that is.
Yeah. I tried to do timestamps for Daniel the other day.
I was not happy about
He
it.
wasn't having any of it. Sorry, everyone. You have to watch the whole thing.
The big news.
Every week.
Shut up. The big news. Big news this week. What was it, Matt?
I don't know. Man went into space. Woman went into space.
No, nobody went to space this week.
I don't know. It was rainy. It was really fucking rainy outside all day, and it was miserable, and I couldn't.
No, the
get
big
out. I got
news
depressed.
was the guy that was let out of prison. Did you see that?
Oh, the guy let out of prison. I wish it had been Mr. Jihad. That would have been fucking. Made
yeah.
It even
No.
more
This guy was perfect. This guy is perfect.
He was still perfect. Yeah.
Hadesh
Sorry,
Kabatu,
go on.
I think is his name. And I think, it's this time of year, right, Matt? Coming up towards December. This is when Time magazine announces its person of the year, and they put them on the front cover. And the important thing to remember about Time magazine is it's not about being a good person or a bad person. All right? It's about someone that has shaped the year. In the public realm, that has captured the fascination of the public. Now, unfortunately, Time is a US publication, but if we did have one in the UK, I do think this man would be on the cover because he has dominated this year in a way that I don't remember. I think since maybe Captain Tom, in terms of just not being off the front page. This guy, it's just incredible. So he was the one who earlier in the year, it was his arrest that sparked the riots.
Yeah.
So there's massive interest in this one, of all the people that are being arrested for all the crimes in the world, for all the people that are coming and going from the UK, everyone was focused on this particular man. And then this is the man. Of course, lots of people get released up from prison. This is what came out in the subsequent, news about this guy's release was that the prison service is constantly releasing people by accident. And At the same time, also keeping people in prison who should have been released because all the paperwork's all fucked up because nothing works in this country. That's what's so great. It's like nothing works. Even something that the prime minister is personally interested in happening still can't function right. It's so fucked up. So you think there'd be one person in the entire country who they would be like, let's just make sure the system works, at least for this individual.
Like when they try and put Magneto in the plastic prison in X-Men.
No, it's like...
They're like, let's just get this guy.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, it really reminds me of Brass Eye. Do you remember the episode about, I can't say the word, but they're talking about, I think what the kids call it is PDF files. I think that's how you're supposed to say it. There's an episode of Brass Eye about PDF files, and it said that, they're so scared that they've launched this child into space, and he's being kept in a space station away from humanity so that it'll be perfectly safe. And the next thing is that, we've just heard that the worst thing that we could possibly imagine has happened. A man who is convicted, has also been put in the same spaceship. There's one thing that we were hoping wouldn't happen, and it's just the two of them up there in space for eternity. It is like you couldn't think of a worse thing that could happen to this government than losing this guy. And what's so funny about it is that he wasn't even on the run, right? He hung
someone
out.
Just shoot him away.
Yeah, he hung out at the prison for like an hour saying, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to... Because he wanted to be deported. He'd had enough of this place. And this is the other thing, right?
He's asking to go.
Call me old-fashioned, right? But he committed a crime and he'd been given 12 months in prison. And I was like, maybe he should just serve his 12 months in prison. But everybody's like, no, we must deport him. We must get rid of him.
We've got to be able to deport someone.
So they deported him to... They did finally get him to Ethiopia, right? On arrival in Ethiopia, he was detained for a few hours by the Ethiopian
They presumably meant to send him to Rwanda, and
No.
They're like, oh no, we fucked that up too.
They detained him for a few hours, and then they released him, and now he's free to live his life in Ethiopia. I mean...
Oh my God, really?
You want to talk about incentives to come to the UK? Come to the UK, right? Commit essay, willy-nilly, whatever you want to do. All that'll happen is...
Free trip
you'll just be sent back. You'll just be back to square one. Lose nothing, mate.
Get a free trip back and 500 quid
spending
money.
And £76 he gets when he left the prison, which is how he got the train to London, presumably. But I don't know, you could probably just skip the barrier because there's nobody at the barriers. This is the thing, I imagine Starmer in the control room, in central London. You've got CCTV everywhere. Like, there he is, I can see him at the train station, stop him. He's like, no, that we don't have any guards at the train station anymore, they've been fired. He said, Dalston Library. No, that's all automated, there's no one there. Where's the police? Oh, there's no police station for 400 miles. So I can see him everywhere, he's on all that. He's just like following around London. I want to get this man.
A good ending for the Bourne Identity 7 or whatever. Starmer just losing it. Like, where are my fucking ID cards?
But it's like, where are all the police? It's like, we fired them over. We've only got 7 heavily armed officers whose job is to break into journalists' flats at 4 a.m. They're all in bed by 3 p.m. There's nobody on the streets, I'm afraid. Yeah. And so the pictures of him at Dalston Library are just great. I mean, I don't know what he's doing there, but he's probably just looking for some public building that's still open that he could go in.
He's probably got some books out from Britain. And do you know what? Is he going to return them? Is he bollocks?
Let's get to Ethiopia, get those books back. God damn it. He's probably studying for the, the British exam, whatever, so that he could become a Brit.
Yeah. What a nightmare. It's all horrible, isn't it? I didn't mean to say it should have been Mr. Jihad. That would have been equally as bad.
Yeah, you're bringing down the tone of this podcast.
Yeah.
It's disgusting, Matt.
It is grim.
It's
just all horrible, isn't it, Daniel? What are we going to do about it?
There's nothing. There's nothing you can do about it.
What do you do?
I mean, apart from maybe stop being obsessed with deporting people and just keep them in prison if they've committed a crime. It's like basic.
Ooh, yakasha.
Mic
drop.
What else have we got? Oh yeah, your party. Further implosions.
Oh my God, I'm just not joining your party. I know the whole point of this podcast was to encourage people to join your party.
No. We're going back to our original MO, which is just attacking Keir Starmer, which we'll do later. So we're giving up on your party. But this will be the last thing we'll ever say about your party.
Love you, Jeremy, so much.
And Zara.
and
Zara. Yes, Matt. And Zara.
Sure, I don't really know anything about her.
Sure, love to Zara, I guess. Yeah.
Seems like a bit of a pain in the ass.
No, I actually think Zara's been really good. Actually, I mean, she is. Yeah, she's a bit pain in the ass, but she like politically, she's probably better than Corbyn at this point. But that's neither here nor there. I mean, partly there are some. Partly she's not in the sort of limelight in the way that Corbyn is. But that's not the point. The point is that so your party of seemed to be quieting down. So they were like, "Oh no, we need to get back in the headlines." How does your party get in the headlines? Legal action against itself. That's what it does. Yeah. So the Zara Sultana. This time, though, the twist is Zara Sultana and Jeremy Corbyn are on the same side.
Yeah, mad.
I know, and they're gonna
Netflix.
They're gonna. So instead of like Corbyn and his gang taking out Zara Sultana, they've got Zara Sultana with them, and they're going to take out an even weaker faction. Pick on an even smaller group of people,
which includes Andrew Feinstein about some money issue. It's like the fucking what's this thing? It's like the Labour Party with their housing and their fucking.
I know.
Carrying around bags of money. What the fuck is going on?
Well,
how did that happen?
They put out a statement. So there was this thing called Memorandum of Understanding. MOU.
I can't imagine that Andrew Feinstein, a principled politician. Do you know what I mean? It's like he's not going to have just been like, "Whoa, there's 800 fucking million, 8 million quid. I'll just run off to fucking Ethiopia with that."
Well, yeah, that's true. I don't know exactly what they're.
It's just going to be some fucking bureaucratic balls up, and
that's what it is. But
fucking
basically,
mess of it.
It sounds like your party in this case, I suppose, Zara and Corbyn, they're really in the wrong on this. But they're the ones that are taking legal action. But I'll just read you. This is from someone that I follow on Facebook, the only person I know on Facebook, called his name's Ruben. I can't remember his surname. I'll find it for you because he's great actually. I kind of know him, but not really. I've met him a few times, but I mainly know him through reading his Facebook posts.
Hi, Ruben. Now I know you too.
He's one thing to say. He's part of of Counterfire. That's the left-wing organization that he's sort of associated with. So, and they themselves have some position, presumably, as every left-wing organization is involved in some sort of part of the factional war of this. But I think what he says about this specific thing is, as with a lot of what he says on Facebook, he's pretty right in the details of it all. His name is Ruben Bard Rosenberg. I don't know if he'd want me to put that out. He does put stuff out publicly on Facebook, but I don't think not that this channel has. No, it's going to get like floods of people coming to see his stuff now because we've mentioned it. But anyway, he says, your party demanded control of MAU's assets without This is the key line actually from what MOU have put out. So in response to legal action, they put out a statement explaining their position, why they haven't given the money back. So MOU got about £800,000 right at the very beginning of the Your Party mess, because they were the ones, for whatever reason, that had the bank account when Zara all those months ago, put out that thing saying, "Hey, I'm starting a party with Jeremy Corbyn. You know, we want your help. We want your support." This was before membership, before anything. This was just to sign up to a newsletter. Right. And that was when they got the biggest response. I think it was hundreds of thousands of people very quickly. And obviously there was like, if you want to support financially, you can do that as well, you know, if you want. And loads of people did. And they got like £800,000, which is like all the money, because since then it's been such a shit show that less and less people have responded to then less and less people have signed up, and less money is being given, because obviously that initial money didn't go anywhere and it's just been a mess. Yeah. But so they got 800,000. So that's where all the money is. And that's what it's all about. Yeah. Now, the whole thing has been that your party, since then, has taken on the membership. They're the ones that are forming the party structure, and they keep saying, you know, we ask MOU operations for all of that money so it can help us. You know, we're trying to set up a whatever it is, a conference next month. We're setting up local. We need money, right? So we're trying to get this money off of memorandum, blah blah. They won't give it to us. So now we're taking legal action. And so this is what MOU said in response, why they haven't given the money, right? And they said, your party demanded control of MOU's assets without accepting control of MOU itself. This would have left us to deal with liabilities and costs. That's the key thing. They sent a long response, but that's the key thing. They want them to hand over the money or the bank account details, but they don't want to take on, which is like a legal entity now, memorandum of understandings, as they don't want to take that on. They just want to take the assets, which would leave the directors, which are Driscoll, Feinstein and Beth Winters, it would leave them liable for this company.
For what, though?
Well, because there were certain obligations to signing up. Like if your party doesn't...
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Doesn't ever materialize, then people can demand their money back.
Demand their money back,
right?
yeah.
But they won't have the money
anymore. So it's a bureaucratic, legal thing.
But it does sound like, why doesn't your money, your money, that should be the name of the party.
That's what the party should be called.
Why?
Oh, no, don't give the fucking tabloids headline ideas.
Money. Why don't they just take on the whole thing? Anyway... So Rubin was sort of took MOU's side. He said, firstly, MOU now has 800,000 of membership fees, including annual membership fees. So some of them are recurring fees. They're going to be. So it's ridiculous. This is not a gift to MOU. It is a receipt that comes with reciprocal obligation to deliver membership. If everything goes kaplunk in your party or members had any reason to ask for their money back, they would be entitled to demand it.
Not very encouragingly put. If everything goes kaplunk.
Well, it's accurate, isn't it? I mean, it is a bit like kaplunk. Like every week, they're like, what if we do something even more disastrous? Oh, people are still interested a little bit. What else can we do to fuck this up?
Jenga.
Anyway. The other big problem the membership mess created for the directors of is GDPR. One company cannot simply hand over lots of people's data to another company without it getting legally complex. If the directors were to go ahead and do it and were found to have acted illegally, they could again face personal liability. So like the whole thing is like it just seems incredible. They started websites, they started bank accounts
without planning it,
and they just took. It's almost £1 million from people, and they have no idea who's responsible for this or what they were even guaranteeing with the money.
Had 5 years to plan it as well, incidentally. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous.
But this, you'll probably agree with this, Matt. I'm not so sure about it, but this is Rubin's conclusion to the whole thing. It is, I think, very clear that Zara Sultana should not be in charge of running anything ever. She created the most enormous, legally tricky mess for her other directors without their agreement. And there is, I think, a wider point that being an MP doesn't necessarily qualify you to run a mass movement, and that somebody who's never held a position of responsibility in the popular movement and who's never really run anything other than an office full of staff employed to assist them may not be the best person to run a mass membership organization of the left.
Is that what MOU said?
No, that's what Rubin said.
Oh, Rubin. Okay.
Good old Rubin.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't comment on Zara's abilities there. But
well,
she's fucking 31, and
she's getting younger every day.
She's not going to be great. I wouldn't have thought. After that's her main job, being a MP.
Well, I mean, she doesn't have to run it. I mean, that's the point, isn't it? I mean, the leader of the party is not the person they're not the chairman of the party. They're not running the party as an organization. That's not their job. And that's the whole thing. The whole thing with your party is there's been so many people involved, one stage to another, and background deals, different committees, whatever. But nobody in the light, like nobody out in the open with an actual job, with actual responsibility, who's supposed to do something. It's all been like Zara has done something herself, and then people have reacted to that. Corbyn has come out with a statement. So where is the actual structure of people with this is their job? They're the membership secretary. They look after the member. This is the treasurer, like the basic stuff that you have when you set up anything. Like they look after the money, and it's just completely chaos. It's like none of them have even been. When you're younger, you're on the left or something. You at least like join some little group where you have to, and it's fucking annoying. And you're like, this is a treasurer. Every year we have to vote on the treasurer, and it's like the same fucking guy because nobody else wants the job. And but you have to go through all of that. That's what you do. And they just haven't bothered with it. Anyway, so that's the end of your party. It was good while it lasted. I'm signed up at the moment. I'll be wanting my 150 back or whatever. I want to move that over to the Green Party. What do you think about the Greens? Have you given up?
Slightly gets on my wick. Does what's his face?
Yeah, the Greens is like really
toothy wizards.
Giving up.
Toothy tit wizard is what the Sunday Sport called him.
Yeah.
Gap tooth.
We're back.
Shall I call in again?
Just let me say I'll be back and then explain that we do this on Zoom, and that's why it abruptly cuts out every so often because we only got 40-minute Zooms.
Yep.
But we don't use the entire 40 minutes because we often have to start a bit late because somebody has a problem with setting up their microphone every time. Yeah. All right. Anything else? Anything else you want to talk about, Matt? Before we get on to the horrors of Keir Starmer. It's Halloween, Matt. Ooh, the horrors of Keir Starmer. Ooh, it's scary, isn't it?
What's he done wrong this time?
No, we're not. We're talking about the historic crimes. Remember, it's always. So last time we looked at the crimes of Keir Starmer, I think we called it. Mm-hmm. They weren't really crimes. Because nothing Keir Starmer does is a crime.
Well, they weren't crimes. They weren't crimes. They weren't crimes.
That's not the line. What is the line? You've got me annoyed now. What is the line?
Lies.
Oh, they weren't lies. Yeah, yeah.
Classic Morrissey song.
What about this? Ouija board, Ouija board. Do you think that's the best Morrissey song of all time?
No, it's quite a funny one though.
It's appropriate though for Halloween, is it not?
Certainly is, yeah.
She has now gone from this unhappy planet with all the carnivores and...
The destructors.
I was going to say dissenters.
That would be good for your Starmer bit.
Oh, Dementors. That's what I was thinking of in Harry Potter. I was thinking maybe she was inspired by Morrissey. It'd be good if it was Dementors. Have you seen the video for that with, is it Kathy Burke?
Kathy Burke, yeah.
It's really good. Not a good song. Great video, though. One of Morrissey's best videos, I'd say.
I don't know. It's quite a funny song.
No, it's
being
terrible.
So lonely that you have to try and get a girlfriend through a Ouija board.
No, it's deliberately shit. It's called Ouija. It's not even called Ouija board. It's called Ouija board.
Yeah.
All right. The horrors of Keir Starmer. We're going to be going back to his days as DPP once again. We did this before. We looked at spy cops. Now we're looking at everything else. All of it and everything. Just a never-ending list of shit that just keeps coming out about Keir Starmer of the DPP. Starting with Jimmy Savile. You got to go with the big dogs to begin with, yeah? Interesting, this is the main thing to remember, is in an interview with Sophie Ridge on Sky a year or two ago, he was asked about his time as DPP. And Starmer said, I always carry the can. I think my Keir Starmer is just the same as Morrissey. I only do one impression, and it's everyone. Although I think Morrissey looks a bit like Starmer.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Yeah, or vice versa. Anyway,
yeah.
He always carries the can for his mistakes. Let's talk about those mistakes.
There would be a good book that Morrissey could write. Instead of doing that terrible one about bobslayers, he could do...
Did he do a novel?
He did a novel about an Olympic bobsleigh team.
What, Cool Runnings?
It sounded like that, yeah.
It was Cool Runnings, but no black people. Please, thank you very much.
He could be a body double for Keir Starmer. That would be a great story.
Well, he could do...
And I got into number 10. I was so lonely.
He could do a film about Keir Starmer's future, about his death in the year, whatever that would be. And... We're in the middle of World War III.
It already happened.
Everything's gone to shit. And it's got the different stages. So Keir Starmer he can play himself for now. Morrissey can play the future Starmer. Who's that guy from One Direction? He can play young Starmer. What's his name?
Robbie Williams.
Sure. Yeah. All right, Keir Starmer. Right, so this is great. I got this story from Lord Ashcroft's blog that he writes.
Now the drugs don't work.
They just make you go.
Nobody, you know Lord Ashcroft, right? Michael Ashcroft.
Yeah,
you're aware of him, right? He's got his own blog where he gives his thoughts.
Has he? He's really gone up in the world, Lord Ashcroft.
Yeah,
done.
Yeah. I don't think anyone reads
going.
it. It's
Keep going.
You talking to him?
No, to Lord Ashcroft.
Yeah.
Don't let the haters get you down. You keep on with that blog.
Well, the problem with his blog is, as fascinating as it is, he can't write for shit. That's what I noticed. He can't write an article to save his life. So I read. It took me ages to cipher out all of the actual information in this article that's relevant, and I've repackaged that to some degree. Sorry, Ashcroft, I butchered your article to make it legible. But anyway, basically, he's talking about the nitty gritty of Keir Starmer at the DPP as DPP, and the Alison Levitt inquiry that he launched about Jimmy Savile. And Ashcroft begins, Starmer's story is that he, personally, was never aware that Savile had ever been accused, let alone that the CPS had reviewed allegations against him and decided he could not be charged, even though he had been the Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, for nearly a year by the time that now highly controversial decision was made. So that's basically Starmer's position. And this is a constant with Starmer. The basic hook line is, it never came across my desk. That's what he says about just about everything.
That's what he says about Jimmy Savile.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he says about his own reaction to Jimmy Savile. But I think, this is just, you got to wonder, what was he doing? There's so many of these big cases that were taking place at the time that are just massive national scandals now, and he just never knew about any of them, apparently. Anyway, Lord Ashcroft goes on to say, but on October 24th, 2012, so this is after everything came out about Savile, Starmer acknowledged that the CPS had apparently allowed Savile to slip through the net. So that's the other thing about this case and all of the other cases that Starmer had no idea about, is that everybody accepts that someone somewhere, some organization, some individuals fucked up, right? The fact that Savile went for decades, right, abusing people in major institutions, in hospitals, and people fucked up. CPS, even Starmer says specifically, the CPS fucked up, right? But nobody can say how or who or why any of this happened. There's no one's to blame for any of these things. And we'll talk about other things, the post office scandal. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. Just so many, the spy cops thing, they go on for decades. Obviously people fucked up. No one can say who or how. Anyway, what Starmer did do in light of these things coming out about Jimmy Savile is he launched the Alison Levitt investigation. Alison Levitt obviously in a good place to do the investigation since she worked directly for Keir Starmer. So that's always a good person. If you want someone to scrutinize your work, you get somebody that works directly below you, because obviously they're going to be have all the vested interest to make sure that if you have done anything wrong, they're going to expose it. Anyway, Levitt found that in May 2007, a complaint of SA was made to Surrey police alleging that. That alleged to have occurred in the 1970s. During a subsequent investigation by Surrey police, they also found that separately, Sussex police had looked into another complaint. Right? So in the course of this is a quote, Ashcroft, in the course of their respective allegations, detectives from each police force came to know of the allegations the other was looking into. So the separate allegations being made, separate police forces. The police are aware of it. Levitt explained that the CPS were also then brought in. Would there be a case against Jimmy Savile? Levitt explained that an extremely experienced CPS reviewing lawyer had supervised the Savile matter when it was brought to the CPS's attention. Her report gave the impression that this lawyer oversaw the case alone. She interviewed the lawyer for her report, but granted him anonymity for some reason. Significantly, Levitt stated that the mystery lawyer struggled to remember the details after all this time, which is weird. I think it would be pretty memorable if someone told you that Jimmy Savile, Jimmy Savile had been accused of this stuff by separate police forces around the country. I vaguely remember that case. That's all he's saying. Anyway, it is surprising that Levitt was not more skeptical about his faulty memory of what was always going to be a high-profile case. That's what Lord Ashcroft thinks. Surrey police did not tell each complainant of the other complaints. So this is what Levitt points out is the big flaw, is that the police never told the complainants that anybody else had complained about Savile. So they all thought, and this happened in other situations as well. It happened at the BBC, right, where people mentioned Savile's behaviour or mentioned suspicions, and people at the top who had been told these things, in this case the police, didn't say that they'd been told this by other people. So it seemed like everybody seemed like they're on their own. They were the only ones that had come across this. So Surrey police did not tell each complainant of the other complaints that had been made. And Sussex police told its complainant that corroboration would be needed in order to charge Savile. So they put it on the complainant to find other
Complainants.
What am I saying?
No extra T. You're putting an extra T in it every time.
Complainant, am I saying? Yeah, sorry. Complainants on a plate. Complainants. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it's in the title, Daniel.
Please, no complaints. No complaints about my
No complaints.
No complaints, please.
Don't complain to us.
Don't complain. Levitt did query why the CPS did not try to build a case, noting that had the complainants been given more information by the police at the time of the investigation, and if each one had been told that she was not the only woman to have complained, they would probably have prepared to give evidence. So this is the failing that sees at the CPS, but this had nothing to do with Starmer because it never crossed his desk. Yeah. The inference was that Savile could have ended up in court had the police and the CPS handled things differently. Now, how does Starmer fit in? Well, not at all, never crossed his desk. So something that Levitt doesn't seem to be interested in is how many CPS employees, other than the mystery lawyer, knew that the CPS was looking into this highly sensitive case between 2007 and 2009. Levitt's report did not say. Also, Levitt does not appear to have asked him, this mystery lawyer, the only person who seems to be working on it, to explain whether he ever discussed the Savile matter with any of his CPS colleagues, including Starmer, over the 30 months that he took charge of the case. Just kept his mouth shut the whole time.
30 months. Oh.
Levitt report stated that the case file. This is also another thing that happens quite a lot. Levitt's report stated that the case files were returned to the police after it was decided no prosecution would take place. She explained that all traces of the Savile file were removed from CMS, the CPS's internal electronic case management system, and destroyed on October the 26th, 2010, 2 years after Starmer became DPP. Now, I think it was declassified or somewhere else that I read that this went against the protocol generally of the CPS to destroy files randomly like this, but they did anyway. Also, something that Levitt doesn't seem curious about is who decided that Starmer, who had made a point of telling staff when he became DPP that his door was always open and who attended regular meetings with CPS staff around the country, should be kept in the dark about the Savile investigation. It isn't even clear whether he first learnt about the CPS's involvement before or after Savile's death. Levitt later made, and this is how we end it with, Levitt later made a Labour peer by her former CPS boss, apparently failed to ask these basic questions. So, terrible report by Levitt, but obviously rewarded by Keir Starmer himself to become a lord, like Peter Mandelson.
Sounds like you're doing proper journalism there.
No, I'm just reading Lord Ashcroft. He's doing proper journalism. But I tell you what, if you need an editor, Lord Ashcroft, because that is not exactly how his fucking rambling piece of shit article goes. I'll tell you.
Michael Ashcroft, isn't it? I'm just looking him up to remind myself. The British Belizean businessman, pollster and politician who was former deputy chairman of the Conservative Party.
Yes. So, I mean, he's a lord himself. You know, that's the thing. I mean, he's like, oh, look at this corruption. Yeah. Just become a baron or whatever for nothing. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Anyway, should we move on to the post office scandal?
Sure.
Keir Starmer denies he knew CPS was prosecuting post office operators. Yeah, of course. Yeah, it never crossed his desk. Labour leader was director of public prosecutions when 3 cases brought by CPS resulted in convictions. Guardian, the 10th of January, 2024. Keir Starmer has denied he was aware of Crown Prosecution Service prosecutions against post office operators caught up in the Horizon IT scandal when he headed the agency. Starmer, who was Director of Public Prosecutions between 2008 and 2013, addressed questions about what he knew about up to 38 prosecutions of post office operators initiated by the CPS. It has emerged from official reviews that 10 cases taken by the CPS resulted in convictions. 3 occurred while Starmer was DPP. So these were people that went to prison during the post office scandal. These were entirely innocent people that the post office blamed for taking money when it was actually the system itself that was fucking up. This is where a Labour spokesman literally quotes, "They didn't go to his desk." That was the Labour response.
Maybe his desk is just very small.
Yeah. Well, maybe
little baby desk.
He doesn't have a desk. That was it. His first thing, his first day, is right. I'm getting rid of the desk. That should solve most of the problems.
it's just a little pink My Little Pony desk in the.
This is my desk. It's called the bin.
Across there. Yeah. There's gonna be some changes around here, motherfuckers.
Anyway, so that's the post office scandal sorted. He wasn't involved in that either. I mean, the thing is, say, well, okay, maybe he wasn't aware of these things. He didn't actively put people in prison for no reason or actively let Jimmy Savile off the hook. Fine. But did he do a fucking good job? Did he actually figure anything out? Let all these people go to prison for wrong reason, or that we had one of the most high-profile, respected people in the country was going around abusing people? You know, he didn't do anything good, did he? It's not like a boast. The other thing, right, is this is from the Independent, January 2024. So, do you remember the company that made the system, the Japanese company, Fujitsu? They were the company that made that system, the Horizon thing that the post office was using, right? Do you know what happened to those guys? So to this day, not a single post office or Fujitsu employee has been held to account over the scandal, much less face criminal investigation. At least 60 of the victims of the post office people have died before finding any justice at all. Yeah? And what happened to Fujitsu? Well, now they run the Trade Support Service, which is the technical system set up post-Brexit to help businesses navigate post-Brexit custom arrangements. And that's a £300 million contract with the government.
Yeah.
So they've learned their lesson. I think they should give it to Palantir. Get it? Because at the moment they're looking to renew their contract, and there's pressure on Starmer not to allow them to do that. But
sounds like a lot of people are failing upwards, Daniel.
Should we talk about the big one though? Because I think the reason that maybe he wasn't aware of anything that was going on in the country while he was head of the CPS was that he was so obsessed with Julian Assange.
Ooh.
He did, because he was he didn't get involved in Savile, he didn't get involved in the post office thing, but he was very hands-on when it came to Julian Assange, and everything went through him.
Don't go soft on me, said an email from Starmer's office. Unsigned, I believe. Don't go soft on us this time. I think it was to the Swedish prosecutors.
Oh yeah, they were badgering the Swedes.
Office. But basically, the Swedes were a bit like, should we really be fucking around with this? And they were like, and our team
GB,
Kia, our Kia, were like, no, you're gonna do this.
You fucking do it. This is from Declassified June 2023. CPS has destroyed all records of Keir Starmer's 4 trips to Washington. So more things going missing. While DPP, Starmer made trips to Washington in 2009, 2011, 2012, and 2013 at the cost to the British taxpayer of £21,000. Well, £21,600. It was his most...
Fuck all, actually, for 4 holidays to America.
That's for the trips. That's for the plane.
Oh, just for the trip. Oh, the first class.
Yeah. It was his most frequent foreign destination while in post. Max Hill, the current DPP, just for balance, has made just 1 trip to Washington during his 5-year tenure. Now, do you remember, right? This is from the Independent, 14th of April, 2023. Nearly 3 times... nearly 3 times as much on Keir Starmer spent nearly 3 times as much on expenses as his CPS successor Alison Saunders, including first-class flights abroad and a chauffeur-driven car. So Starmer always took business class at very least.
Or probably a quick detour to the fucking Trilateral Commission and the fucking
the
Bilderberg fucking owl sacrificing ceremony.
They have their own, you know how you get like the BA, you know, at the airports, you get like the little BA bit you can go in if you're a first class person. There's a Trilateral place where you go in. It's got little tea and bickies, tunnocks, only the best. But yeah, you have to remember though, he was taking these first class flights and all of that and whatnot at the time that the Tories were bringing in austerity cuts across all of basically the public sector. And the CPS lost over 30% of its day-to-day funding. And of course, Starmer now, as Prime Minister, wants to bring in more cuts to public services, but obviously not to his own department, to himself. Like, heaven forbid that he wouldn't fly first class. I think if you're Prime Minister, the cuts should start there with the Prime Minister himself. He should get a smaller house. He should get a flat. He should have to commute in from Barking.
I should have to carry in your tiny desk every day on the back end of British Rail.
Well, yeah, can't they do what's it called? Desk sharing or whatever. What's it called? Desk hopping, where you have a air desk. What do they call it? You know, where people just share. They just have one building. You know, so on Monday, it's like the health department. And then they all have to go home and they have to take all their stuff, all their laptops with them. And then on Tuesday, the education department come in. That would save so much money.
Yeah, we can only go to war on Wednesdays. that's the only time.
Yeah, if people declare war on Thursdays, exactly, they have to wait all week until we can formulate a response. No, because you can work from home. That's the point.
Yeah,
just come in once a week for meetings. God,
you can probably drone people from home.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You have to send the controller through.
Yeah,
and that's it. As long as you've got a PlayStation controller with a USB, you're sorted. Anyway, so why was he going to the US all the time? He was going to see. I mean, obviously the information about the trips has been destroyed. Unfortunately, that's too bad.
Yeah.
But from what people can understand, from what's left, what little remains, is that he was meeting up with US Attorney General Eric Holder, who at the time was publicly
for Julian's
making a big deal about wanting to extradite Julian Assange. On top of this, during Starmer's time in post, the CPS was marred by irregularities surrounding the case of the WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange. The organisation has admitted to destroying key emails related to the Assange case, mostly covering the period when Starmer was in charge. So stuff about the flights were destroyed, emails were destroyed. Jonathan Cook wrote...
I wonder if they destroyed them deliberately because there was something incriminating about their behaviour in that.
That's conspiratorial thinking, Matt. We're above that. Jonathan Cook said, but this is another really unfortunate thing that happened. Jonathan Cook wrote in January 2025, extraordinarily and conveniently for both the UK and Sweden, it emerged during legal hearings in early 2023 that the prosecutors in Stockholm claimed to have destroyed the very same correspondence deleted by the CPS. So you would think, well, you know, okay, they destroy the CPS, don't know what they're doing, but at least over in Sweden they'd keep a record. But they destroyed them as well. The few documents that have come to light show that it was the CPS, led at the time by Keir Starmer, later knighted, and now Britain's Prime Minister, that waged what appears to have been a campaign of political persecution against Assange, rather than one based on proper legal considerations. But, you know, that's speculation from Jonathan Cook, because there's no fucking record of any of it. So we'll never know exactly what happened. Anyway, Jonathan Cook goes on to say, there are good grounds for believing that all four governments have coordinated their moves to cover up what would amount to legal abuses in the Assange case. I don't know what he's talking about, the US, UK, Sweden. What's the other one? Ukraine? I don't know what the other one would be. I didn't read the rest of the art. Well, I read it a long time ago. Anyway, Starmer headed the CPS when many highly suspect decisions regarding Assange were made. If the documents truly have been destroyed, it will be difficult, if not impossible, to ever know how directly he was involved in those decisions. It's too bad. It's too bad. Anyway,
you can make a pretty good educated guess.
Hopefully we can make a YouTube video about it, and lots of people will watch it.
Very involved as a way of getting right up the Americans' bums. so that he's able to become prime minister just a few years later.
I know, yeah. That's the thing. I mean, at the very least, you would say, like, his record in the CPS is not great. You might say it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's not a great record, and yet he just goes from strength to strength. I mean, here's a conspiracy for you, right? Why did this guy, he becomes a Labour MP. I mean, firstly, he gets given a Plum constituency in North London. Obviously, that was before Corbyn was leader. But then Corbyn makes him fucking shadow Brexit secretary. Do you think maybe Jeremy Corbyn is working for MI5? We ask a man in.
Well, I've always said it. But, hopefully.
Old news, mate. Everybody knows it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's not the end of the horrors of Keir Starmer. There's more. This is Oliver Eagleton in Novara Media, March 2021.
It is Halloween today, just in case you're watching this after Halloween.
Gary McKinnon, do you remember him?
Yeah, leaked information, spy stuff.
Yeah, he hacked.
Well, he didn't
hacked
leak information. He hacked, I should say. Yeah. And he was very autistic, I believe, and found aliens on a Pentagon computer.
I don't think he actually did find aliens.
Well, I might have exaggerated there.
He tried to, though. God bless him, he tried. So, upon Keir Starmer's appointment in 2008, he inherited the case of Gary McKinnon, an autistic IT expert who had gained unauthorized access to US military databases, hoping to find information about UFOs. Although McKinnon never published any of his findings, the security breach was a major embarrassment for the US state, which issued an indictment that would have seen the hacker imprisoned for up to 70 years. He should have just committed sexual assault, and then he'd just go back to Ethiopia.
Sent to Ethiopia with 576 quid to his name.
Starmer, this is obviously Eagleton's framing, but it's not good for Starmer. Starmer pledged to do everything in his power to deliver McKinnon to Holder. He's just an autistic guy, right?
I know, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
And that's the same kind of thing they were trying to do to Julian Assange, like 70 years, or it was even longer for his.
At least Assange was doing it for an effect. Like, he was, I mean, I agree with what Assange was doing, but he was trying to do it to bring down the state. This guy just, on a goof, wants to know about UFOs. He's curious.
Yeah, he was just very fucking curious about flying saucers.
And if your IT system can't beat, like, just some guy in his bedroom, then it's fucking on your IT system, isn't it? You fucking idiots. Anyway, sorry, what were we going to say, Matt?
Yeah, so basically, it's Starmer trying to get in with the security state.
I know.
By trying to prosecute this guy. But I was going to say, why don't you tell the viewers what happened to Gary McKinnon
and listeners,
and why that's and listeners.
Don't forget that.
And why that's. Yeah, they don't just tune in to watch our faces.
So, I mean, the numbers may look low on YouTube, but on the podcast where you can't see the numbers, they're hidden. They're really high. They're so high. Let me tell you, fucking huge.
Only we know those numbers.
All right, we've only got 10 minutes left for this one as well. We're going to go.
Wait, what happened to Gary McKinnon?
To an unprecedented third Zoom. I'm telling you right now.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. That was such a British. Oh dear. Oh really? A third? Oh.
I may have to go make myself another cup of tea.
Well, you do when we have the break. Do tell me if you want to instantly restart, or you're going to make a cup of tea.
Oh yeah, I need a break to make another.
Think
cup
about
of
others.
But what happened to Gary McKinnon is that eventually, after many years of being fucked around by the British state and the American state, he eventually was let off on the grounds that he was just a fucking guy, autistic bloke who desperately wanted to know about fucking flying saucers and probably was onto something. But then years later, they used the same approach to Assange, but still tried to fuck him up. So,
you know who let him off?
Who?
Theresa May.
Gary McKinnon was let off by Theresa. Well done, Theresa.
Well, I know. I mean, it's disgusting, isn't it?
And you had very fancy jewellery.
Starmer comes across as the bad person in this. So Starmer pledged to do everything in his power to deliver McKinnon to Holder. The defendant was hounded through the courts until 2012, becoming increasingly depressed and suicidal as successive appeals were thrown out. Yet just when it seemed his fate was sealed, Home Secretary Theresa May suddenly withdrew the extradition order, concluding that after careful consideration of all the relevant material, Mr. McKinnon's extradition would give rise to such a high risk of him ending his life that a decision to extradite him would be incompatible with Mr. McKinnon's human rights. And Starmer was like, no, we should extradite him. I want to impress the Americans.
I want him to kill himself. And of course, Julian Assange was in this. I mean, there's never been any proper fucking sob story put out. I don't think sob story negatively, but actually, Julian Assange was suicidal in prison. He had it's hardly reported, but he had smuggled razor blades into his cell. All of these same things that applied to Gary McKinnon did also apply to Julian Assange. Both cases were prosecuted by the national security states in both countries, and of course in Scandinavia in the case of Assange. Both were fucking horrible things to do by the government. But Assange was treated even worse, 10 times even worse than poor old Gary was.
Oh yeah, they wouldn't let... They sort of denied him basic stuff, didn't they, in prison? Even though he was in there for years and years, they denied him books and stuff. Anything to...
You mean Julian,
Julian,
I don't know about Gary, but...
So Eagleton says, Starmer is reported to have reacted with fury that McKinnon had got off. Like, why would he fucking give a... Like, I personally want this, weird. You know?
Yeah.
The next day
He's fucking weird, isn't he, Keir Starmer?
The next day... He boarded a plane to Washington and met with Holder's deputies to plead that this episode should not jeopardize their future relationship. I can be tough. Please give me another chance to kill someone. It's fucking disgusting. I mean, the thing is that it obviously, I don't think he just wants to see mentally ill people be killed. I think he wants to show that he can...
If it has to happen.
Yeah, he wants to show that if the Americans want that, he will do it. And he can do it. He can get results. And he failed in this moment. And Starmer, he's in the shower. The failure. I gotta get off. Like,
I must kill autistics.
I must kill. Maybe I can offer them another autistic child.
That's made me feel queasy.
But that's how you get on in society, isn't it? That's the whole problem with everything. Is it? It's these sorts of people that sort of deliver to power or do anything they can to get results.
I'm not going to be able to get that image of Starmer in the shower out of my mind. That's fucking disgusting.
Just imagine it's Morrissey instead.
Morrissey doing the body double.
Anyway, should we quickly round up some of the other things?
Please do.
Woo. Binyam Mohammed produced evidence of British involvement in his torture, and it fell to Starmer to decide whether the lead MI5 officer, I think it was called like Witness B or something, would be prosecuted. Starmer declared he would not. He later made the same ruling in relation to an MI6 officer accused of sanctioning the torture of detainees. So this is the other thing. When it comes to the police, comes to the secret services, Starmer always manages to not prosecute. And you can say, as you know, either he didn't know about it. I mean, in these cases he did, and in these cases you can say, well, the evidence wasn't there. But it's like, just fucking. This is the point of someone who's good at these kind of jobs, is they make things happen in these arenas, right? They get justice, they find a way. And in every case like this, he always fails. So another recipient of Starmer's clemency
succeeds in what he's trying to do, which is
well, no, he did fail with McKinnon, and I will never forget it, Starmer. Your failure.
Yeah, when he's old, like when we're interviewing him in like 30 years, like, any regrets? I wish I had killed Gary McKinnon. I wish I'd forced the suicide of Gary McKinnon. What, because he was about to find out the existence of aliens?
Nah.
Just because I like forcing
just for suicide. A goof. Another recipient of Starmer's clemency was Zippy Livni, the former Israeli foreign minister who was part of the Israeli war cabinet during the 2008 assault on Gaza that killed an estimated 1,400 Palestinians, 333 of them children. When she arrived in Britain, Starmer's former comrades from the Haldane Society of Socialist Lawyers, back when he pretended that he was left-wing, handed him a private application for her arrest on war crimes. Starmer could have approved the request immediately.
But unfortunately, the report was mysteriously
It never crossed his desk.
It never crossed my desk. It just dropped straight into the drain outside my fucking office.
Anyway, he delayed for long enough that the Foreign Office was able to issue a certificate designating her visit a special mission, meaning she was immune from prosecution. Too bad.
Yeah, well, Gary McKinnon's fucking discovery of UFOs was a fucking special mission. It's a pretty special mission. Apparently, he downloaded the thing and he could see the metallic object, and then it cut out.
So you're saying that he did see stuff.
Yeah, I can't remember when this is from, but years ago I was part of UFO conferences and
well, there's this increasing,
and I'm sure I came across that. Yeah,
there's this increasing sort of belief online that there's going to be a hoax alien invasion. That's what the US is planning for some reason or other. I'm not entirely sure why, but I don't know. Just to boost the economy for growth. I don't know, but
anything for growth.
Yeah, but like, do you remember? At the beginning of the year, there was all of those mysterious drones across New Jersey. Do you remember that story?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, like Adam Curtis and that have when they've been doing their investigations on this sort of stuff, have said that all of the UFO stuff going back to the 60s has been actually US using sort of secretive technology that they haven't shared.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess the idea would be that they have stuff that looks so crazy that if they were to do some spectacular false flag thing, they could make it look like we're being invaded by aliens. And then, like, the aliens they've said that they really want growth. Yeah. They really want low taxes for the rich, and they want to they want to open up oil fields. That's what the aliens are saying. It's funny. They've got all the same.
We come in peace. Go to the shops.
They think that there should be a two-state solution, but they think that they're probably not be able to implement it right now. Anyway, Starmer,
we are all one, except for Iran. Which
Britain must rejoin the EU or everyone dies. Well, you heard the guy.
There's one little alien at the back. Aren't they a bunch of bureaucrats in Brussels?
He gets immediately zoom lasered. Oh yes, this is also from what's he called? Eagleton. Starmer altered CPS guidelines to facilitate the prosecution of peaceful protesters and to punish alleged rioters with harsher jail sentences. So you remember the big riots? I think it was 2010. In London, and then spread throughout the country.
2011 riots, I think.
2011, yeah. And Keir Starmer was in charge when they did those sort of 24-hour courts, and they were rushing people through, and people were getting like 6 months for stealing a Mars bar and stuff. Yeah. Prosecuting undercover police. Oh, yes, and also, of course, spy cops. Eagleton mentions that. Prosecuting undercover police officers who had stitched up left-wing activists. Starmer famously whitewashed the spy cops. PSYOPs, the PSYOPs scandal.
The PSYOPs of the spy cops.
One more thing, though, before we finish on MI5. And we're back. Did you know, somehow you seem to know that time was running out, because you were like, how did you know that? Because I thought only I could see the time. I just wasn't looking.
I can see when it says less than a minute left.
Oh, so right. It's so stupid because
magic powers.
It gives you in seconds how much time you've got left until you get down to 1 minute, and then it just says less than a minute left. So the crucial moment.
What a fucking useless design bag of shit.
Zoom is a bag of shit.
Zoom, sort it out. It's just so obvious. Why be so shit?
But I wasn't even paying attention at all anyway, so that's another issue, I suppose. Anyway, very quickly, let's just cap off this Keir Starmer malarkey. So, on MI5, okay, this is from Declassified May 2023. The year after Starmer protected MI5 chief Sir Jonathan Evans from possible prosecution over MI5's role in CIA torture, Starmer, who was still in his role as the senior public prosecutor, went to Evans' farewell drinks, paid for by MI5. Now, this has never happened before, and obviously there is a bit of a contradiction, conflict of interests. That year, he had been the head of an organization that had been involved in an investigation into MI5 and was now sort of at a friendly... I mean, I don't know how big these drinks were. It was just like everybody who's fucking
How many drinks did you have, Keir? How pissed were you?
Well,
I got so drunk I decided to become a deep state stooge.
Starmer does like to drink, so maybe he just goes to any farewell drinks that he could get invited to. Anyway, it's interesting.
Would he go to Gary McKinnon's fucking drinks party?
His farewell drinks as he's being taken up into the spaceship. But the article talks about Evans' relationship with Starmer. So upon Starmer's announcement that there wouldn't be a prosecution, that they were stopping the investigation, another one in the bin. Then MI5 chief Evans said, "I'm delighted that after a thorough police investigation, the Crown Prosecution Services, CPS, has concluded that witness B," this was the guy that was alleged to be involved in the torture, "has no case to answer in respect of his interviewing of Mr. Binyam Mohammed." So he was the guy that had accused the MI5 of torture. Evans continued, "Witness B is a dedicated public servant who has worked with skill and courage over many years to keep the people of this country safe from terrorism. And I regret that he has had to endure this long and difficult process." I get the feeling like he wanted to say this long and torturous process. And he's like, oh no, probably shouldn't. Evans' relief was understandable, right? This is what Declassified say. The CPS's role also involved attempting to trace responsibility for witnesses B's actions further up MI5's chain of command and considered possible criminal wrongdoings. So, as everybody knows, there was, black sites and CIA torture during the War on Terror, so-called. And this was taking place at Guantanamo Bay and all sorts of things, right? But nobody ever gets prosecuted. And it's these key moments when an organization like the CPS decides that they're not going to follow an investigation, it won't go up the chain, they won't find out who did things. This is why all of this happens. And so Keir Starmer is just a classic case of someone who, when he was in this role, he played the role of someone
gatekeeper.
Who was gatekeeper, right? Someone who's going to keep this going, keep all this deep state bullshit undercover, not investigate it properly, not find out anything. And he was rewarded for that. He was knighted and became a Labour MP and then Prime Minister.
Yeah.
A few other things quickly. Let's just get it all out in the open on state violence. So Keir Starmer approved the early decision not to prosecute police officers who killed Jean-Charles de Mendes. That was another another high-profile murder by, I think it was the Met. Armed Met officers shot him on the tube during that was pandemonium. I remember that. So there was the 7/7 bombings, and then a week later there was a failed follow-up attack, and the bombers. So there's 4 bombers on the 7/7, and then there was 4 other bombers on because obviously they died. Suicide bombers. 4 other bombers the next week, or was it 2 weeks later, to do a sort of copy on the same day of the week, and their bombs failed to go off. And so they were running around London. I remember watching, this was sort of the beginning of BBC 24. It just sort of started up, and they were just covering, there was police all over London trying to find these guys. I remember armed police running into a hospital in central London. It was just mental. It was like, it just did feel like someone was going to get shot. And then I think it was the next day, this completely innocent guy, who was just a student, I think, was just on his way to work, whatever, was on the tube, and 4 undercover officers started chasing him, so he ran away because 4 men were chasing him, and then they fucking shot him on the train. And no repercussions for that. In 2010, Starmer did not prosecute another police officer, Simon Harwood, over the death of Ian Tomlinson. You'll probably remember this as well. This was during the student riots. I think it was student riots. It was definitely around that time, obviously 2010, where Ian Tomlinson was batoned on the head. It fell to the ground and then died in hospital. And they were like, it was unrelated. He had a dodgy noggin. I don't know. Anyway, it's not like, okay, in every case, these guys are 100% guilty and they should all be in prison for life. But it is like a sort of pattern of whenever.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the thing. It's the pattern. I was never sure about that one with John Charles Menendez, about whether, it's hard to know what the police should have done there. I mean,
well, not
it does seem like they killed someone without any evidence whatsoever. They just freaked out, I guess.
I mean,
which I
that's
guess
what I
would
was
usually
saying.
get you into some kind of manslaughter territory.
When I was watching the news the day before and these guys running around, there was a freak out. You could see the police were just running around with guns all the time. It was kind of mad. But yeah, he wasn't armed. He didn't have a vest. He didn't have a bag. I think, well, maybe he did have a bag, but I don't know if it was like, there was nothing immediate about him to suggest that he was a direct threat to anyone.
Yeah.
So yeah, to not prosecute at all, I think, is pretty bad. There's one more thing I want to bring up though, which is quite weird article. Did you ever read The Critic? It's like
occasionally if I'm on a train.
Okay, why?
Well, because fucking Smiths sells.
I see.
Like, any time where I buy a fucking boring magazine.
There's an interesting article in The Critic about, the title is "The Strange History of Keir Starmer and Assisted Suicide." So something that's happened since Labour have gone to power.
He loves assisting suicide. He was trying to get Gary McKinnon to do it.
Exactly.
I think we should.
He's got a very strange way of assisting suicide.
Into suicide.
The best way is to put someone in prison forever and deny them access to books or anything, and also to seeing their loved ones until they eventually kill themselves.
It's a progressive euthanasia system that I've developed over the years. I thought about it when I was in the shower, washing off the failure.
How long and to what extent has the Prime Minister supported legislation? So this article tracks back his views back to when he was DPP about it. So
my father wasn't even a tool maker. It's just all a tissue of lies. I'm melting.
15 years ago, I was working on the issue of assisted suicide for a UK charity. This is whoever wrote this article, which I haven't written down. Whoever's out there. It was written on the 3rd of December 2024. Look it up. Along with many others, we were concerned that the law was being changed before our eyes, not through primary legislation, but through the back door. And the person at the centre of the debate, the person who back then was accused of seeking to circumvent the law, was the newly appointed Director of Public Prosecutions. Yeah, it's written. A man by the name of, you will not be surprised to know, and that man's name, I can now reveal to you, is none other than the one and only Keir Starmer. This is interesting.
He is like the kind of guy in a movie who would be the goodie all the way through, and then is revealed.
Yeah, he's Kaiser Soze, isn't he? That's who he is. So this is what it says. Starmer became Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, in November 2008. And just 1 month later, he made his first high-profile decision as DPP. So I don't know, apparently this is the first big news that it was, which was a decision not to prosecute an assisted suicide case despite sufficient evidence to do so. The law seemed clear, but the newly appointed DPP chose not to enforce it. Many articles on Starmer's activity during this time period include reference to a possible change in the law, and Starmer himself said, if the law is changed, it may bring greater clarity, but it's a matter of speculation as to what any change would be. Whether there is to be a change in the law is a matter for Parliament, not for me. I'm not a member of Parliament. I'm not a politician, right? I'm just a bureaucrat. I don't make the laws.
Is that what he said?
They didn't quite go that far. Starmer's first... It would be preposterous for someone like me to make laws. Imagine me in a position of power. That's ridiculous. It'll never happen.
What, me? I'm just a backroom boy. I like to
be in the back room with the boys. Starmer's first major decision in public office was to not prosecute an assistant despite... Oh, I've already read that. Why is that written again? That's written like 3 times. Make sure you say this.
Complaints for that.
Critics have complained. Starmer is effectively legalizing assisted suicide. That's what critics were saying during these decisions that he was making.
I'm not legalizing assisted suicide. I'm making it mandatory for the autists.
But this is interesting, right? Additionally,
You look for aliens.
Starmer has spoken about wanting to see the law changed for many years. And yet, despite being leader of the Labour Party and despite committing to parliamentary time on the issue, his party manifesto did not mention assisted suicide. Like most of the things that Starmer's now heavily involved in, digital IDs, stopping the boats, assisted suicide, all the policies he's actually working on, none of them were mentioned in the manifesto. But what's interesting is where this assisted suicide bill has come from, right? Because as this article says, that he's been interested in it when he was DPP. He's spoken about it many times in public. It wasn't in the Labour Party manifesto. He isn't seemingly driving it at the moment. And this is what the article says. Instead, a private member's bill appeared that was sponsored by Kim Leadbeater MP, someone who has no long-term pedigree of activity campaigning on this issue. What we do know about Kim Leadbeater MP is that out of 458 MPs who entered the annual ballot to sponsor a bill of their choosing, she was the first name to be drawn. So she was given the opportunity to, there's this ballot for all MPs to sponsor a bill. She was the first one to be drawn, and without any history of interest in this area, has decided to make it about assisted suicide, which is curious. Anyway, that's just another thing. Another bad thing that Starmer's doing. I don't know where you sit on the assisted suicide thing, but the official stance of this...
Tricky one.
No, it's not. That's not the official stance. The official stance is not a tricky one. The official stance is it's bad. It's a bad bill, and anybody who's behind it should be forced to commit suicide. No, the assisted suicide bill. The assisted suicide bill is about moving it from being a grey area in which doctors are involved, usually doctors who have been with people for a long time, moving it to a place where it's in the hands of judges who have no idea about the specifics of what's going on. Right. That's what it's all about. And whatever people say about, like, oh, you know, it's good to have control over your own death. Some people want to die in dignity and whatever. Yeah, that's fine, but that's not what this is about.
Right. Okay.
So, like, this particular bill,
how has that got so mangled over time? That sounds bad for everyone.
Because that's what they're trying to sell it as. Obviously, they want this to go through. They want people in the country to like it. It's like the DigiDs, right? DigiDs, you know, you listen to Starmer, it's all about stopping the boats.
Yeah.
They lie sometimes, on occasion, politicians. They spin things. Actually, so on DigiDs, right, I was saying last week, I don't want people to get the wrong end of the stick. I was saying that they want Starmer to bring this in because he's a busted flush or whatever, and he's gonna go, he's unpopular, he's done for anyway, so get him to bring in this incredibly unpopular thing, and then get rid of him, and then we can have reform in, and they don't have to do the dirty work themselves, right? And when I say they, right, I know a lot of people are going to think, oh, this is conspiracy, means like a small group of Jews that control the world, or maybe a larger group of Jews, maybe all the Jews working together in some way. I mean, it could be them. I'm not ruling it out. That's just not what I personally meant. I do find it funny, like, people that think that Jews control the world, and like, how are they controlling everything? You know, how are they passing off information? Maybe it's that Star Wars language that they use, you know? And I'm like, well, have you ever thought, you know, if you like really believe in this massive conspiracy about Jewish people, have you ever thought about learning Hebrew? Like, nah, that's too difficult. Can't be bothered. Well, you know, if you really, really think that this is the be-all and end-all of how civilization works and that they're going to kill us all, you could maybe take a few lessons. Oh, no, I can't be bothered. It's too difficult, mate. I just fuck about on Twitter instead. Anyway, what I mean by they is I mean that the interests, you know, basically of growth, of the way that we see that how society functions, the way that Keir Starmer does, is that they want to see this country be a better place for big companies to come in and invest. Right? And the best way to do that, and this is what Reform want as well, is to have more control over the population, to have a better idea of where people are, of what they're doing, and so DigiIDs. If you believe in business and I wouldn't go as far as say like being an entrepreneur exactly, but basically there's this like problem with the right, where it's like on the one hand they're like, oh, we just want people to be able to start their own businesses and not have to deal with paperwork and thrive and stuff. But on the other hand, they also just want Amazon and massive companies to be able to invest. And that's what they want. And DigiDs are great for that. So if you, on the one hand, think that it's good for this country to get loads of investment and that we have to grow, but then you're against DigiDs, then that's hypocritical, isn't it, Matt? And that's the worst thing. Name something worse than being a hypocrite, Matt. There is nothing. No, that is the worst thing you can be in Britain, is a hypocrite.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Hypocrisy.
Oh, God, I cannot stand hypocrisy, Matt.
Yeah, but you called the other day.
Oh, yeah, well, apart from when I do it, obviously, that's fine.
Oh, good. Glad we've got that sorted out.
Should we do comments?
Sure. Yeah, this is going to be a real bumper Halloween edition, isn't it?
It is indeed. Also, I watched a film. I watched, what's it called? What the fuck is it called? The Road or something? The Long Walk.
The nuclear war film?
No, but that's a good... I've not seen it. I've read the book, though. Cormac McCarthy. No, the Long Walk. It's Stephen King. Have you seen this? I think it's on Netflix or some shit.
Stephen King.
It's just come out.
Oh, The Walk. Yeah, the one that was in the cinema the other day.
The Long Walk. Yeah. Guess who plays the crusty old general who's like the evil guy of the whole film?
Charlton Heston.
Yeah, I think he's dead.
Yeah,
but he does play him. It's amazing. They use like some strings and all sorts. It's well done.
That's what happens if you introduce digital.
No, that's what they do now. I mean, they could do it like the way they did with what's his face in Star Wars.
Star Wars, yeah. Peter Cushing.
Peter Cushing, exactly. No, but it is related to Star Wars.
So I was just thinking, we haven't talked about the
who played the general.
We didn't talk about the Netflix nuclear war film, which I did a whole massive great article about, which is by Catherine Bigelow. But we could do that another time.
We can do that next week if you want. Stay tuned, folks. What is that film called?
It's called A House of Dynamite. I've written a detailed review on my Substack, Scourge of the Spin Machine. And I've actually also talked about it on one or two other podcasts as well, including one that I've just put out on my YouTube, which is called Scourge of the Spin Machine. Go to it now, even though it's probably got fuck all views, but go to the original one, which would have done better on Rumble by the person who put it on.
Oh, you're on Rumble now?
No, not me. The person who interviewed me. But I've forgotten their surname, so that's a terrible plug. Sorry, Grace.
Who plays the general?
What in Catherine Bigelow's new film about
in The Long Walk.
Oh, I don't know. I just said Charlton Heston. I was hoping you'd tell me the answer because you've
Mark
seen
Hamill.
Oh yes.
Who like Palpatine, I've never seen really in anything. I mean, he does the Joker.
He's probably not very good at fucking acting, apart from his fucking.
Yeah, he's funny though, isn't he? He's like one of the most famous people. He's barely been in anything his whole life.
Yeah. Probably too recognisable, to be fair.
Too recognisable.
Yeah, to get really old before he was less recognisable.
What are you talking about?
You can't be fucking Luke Skywalker and then be in anything else. It's like being James Bond. You can't suddenly be in anything else. Although his thingy did eventually get good again, didn't he? Like, but again, you needed to be 10 years older before he sort of started to look less like James Bond. Roger Moore had to do pantomime for about the last 20.
That's because Roger Moore's a bit shit.
He was acting. I think he just liked doing pantomime. Anyway, why are you telling us about the walk? I told you we shouldn't go on for longer than an hour on this show. We're fucking drifting off into a bunch of shit. Why did you tell us about that?
Oh, it wasn't very good. That's why.
Yeah. It's about a bunch of people who have to walk along, and then the one who stops walking first gets shot.
Yeah, but there's no twists. Nothing happens.
Right.
Like that's the premise, and then that just happens.
Yeah.
You think,
scary stuff.
You think there'd be like, oh, there's going to be some kind of like sabotage, or they're going to have a rebellion. throw off the shackles of this horrible system. It's like, no, everybody just walks and they slowly all die and then one wins. And it's like, that's how the long walk works. We told you. Comments. Can you see these?
Just about. I might need to get my glasses.
Are they not very big?
Yeah.
Is it you or is it me?
Well, I think it's just the nature of the computer.
Okay. Because I've done a lot of reading today, Matt. I'm tired of reading. I wouldn't mind.
You want me to do it?
If you wouldn't mind.
Okay, so this is from Hegemona Smith, 1048. Of course, it is a simple fact that the levels of racism of all kinds, including anti-Jewish racism, are significantly higher in the Conservative Party than in the Labour Party. And that has been the case for a long time. Certainly, it would be even worse in Reform. That's an interesting point. I don't know what the statistics are on that.
The one thing it isn't is an interesting point. It's a point that many people have said. It's not interesting.
But is it? But it's interesting because I'm not sure if it's accurate, because I think there's racism everywhere. And I do remember looking up the statistics a while ago and thinking, it's not actually that clear that the Conservative Party are necessarily more racist than the Labour Party. I mean, probably Reform is, to be fair.
All right, whatever. This is from an old video anyway.
Fine. So John Yeo says Mike and Jay UK. Don't know why they've done that, but hello, Mike and Jay.
No, Mike and Jay are part of Red Letter Media, which is a film review channel. And this person is watching Film Scum, and they're comparing Mike and Jay. We are the UK versions of them. It's very complimentary. Thank you, John. Whatever you're called.
Very sweet. John Yale. Okay,
Yale. Yale. It's a great name.
Yale.
Hey, it's John Yale. Hey, where's John Yale? I'm back. I'm back.
It is quite annoying being interrupted, isn't it, when you're trying to present a
Yale.
YouTube, whatever it's called. Podcast. Thumper8684 says, what Sir Keir said about rummaging through your drawers really touched me, because I hate rummaging through my own drawers. Rummaging through other people's drawers, on the other hand, sounds quite enticing. Maybe there's a quid pro quo, brackets Latin, available here before we leap to digital ID.
Is that Latin? Is that for us because he thinks that we're idiots?
He's just like, he wants us to know that
Thumper.
He's pretty cool at his Latin. Is Thumper8684.
Yeah, I think I've insulted Thumper before in the comments, so I'll just say, thanks, Thumper. Thanks for the comment.
Next one, you have to scroll down. This is Peter Raymond, 5826. This is the best title for anything ever. I think was your one about, oh God, remind me.
Well, it's this one here. It's either, I don't know.
Cryptomania.
I don't know if it's somehow Palantir Returned, which is quite good, or it's Cryptomania, or How I Stopped Worrying About Digital IDs and Learned to Love Anti-Semitism. But I mean, that is a good title, but that's just because whenever you take Doctor Strangelove, it's just such an easy way to make a good title. You want to talk about the best title ever, it's Doctor Strangelove. That is the best title for anything. Anyway,
fair enough.
Let's see what Grand Dude 77 has to say.
Going in, I have been drinking, so this better be a tight episode. Or watch out! The little man can expect mean comments about his appearance. Matt should be fine. Thank you, Grand Dude. Oscorus says,
I can't
believe
there was no, a time of whatever this is. There's been no mean comments, so I feel relieved.
I can't believe that the difference between impression and impersonation needed to be explained. This is typical of the people we get drifting into North London, and is why they had that cartoon in Private Eye called It's Grim.
Right, this is why. This is why. Okay, this is why we do comments. Right, so this is ridiculous, right? Do you remember this?
Yeah.
So I was doing an impression of Keir Starmer, and I said, "How was it?" And you said, well, it's not an impersonation, it's just an impression. And then I asked you what the difference was. And I was a bit flummoxed because I didn't understand why bring in impersonation because it has nothing to do with impression. And then you gave a definition which was wrong. And then we just moved on. And then this person is now saying, I can't believe this person needed explaining to them. I didn't need it explained to me. It didn't make sense. And it still doesn't make sense because that's not the meaning of impersonation, right? Impersonation has nothing to do with how you look or sound like someone. It is to do with the sort of fraudulent nature of maybe pretending to be somebody, for some nefarious reason. Like, you don't have to look like or sound like Keir Starmer to access his bank account and pretend that you're him. Like, if you don't know what someone sounds like, you can still impersonate them, as long as the other person doesn't know what they sound like. It's not about that at all. So I just find that all just very, very strange that you brought that up, and now that this guy's brought this up, and I just feel like I am right, and I've been vindicated once more as being.
I've been cleared by my own inquiry into my misuse of language.
I got Alison Levitt to look into it, and it's all good. I don't know how I'm going to get out of this complainant mistake, but I will find by next week. I will find a way to justify my actions, as I always do. Anyway, thank you for this comment because it's allowed me the moment to show that I was always right.
I couldn't really follow any of that, but I'm sure someone is clever in that whole situation. Next one is
if you know, you know.
Javid Collinson, who says, if you include the terrorists, most of the people killed in that incident were killed by police. The terrorist did not have a gun.
Yeah, that was my mistake. I said that the police shot one person and that he shot that. Obviously, he stabbed. I think he had a knife, right? But this is exactly my point. If you include the terrorists, most people killed on the day. The police killed 2 people, including the terrorists. The terrorists killed 1 person. The terrorist also injured someone else, but the police also injured a 3rd person. The police killed 2 people, and he was hospitalized by a bullet. It's a very, very bizarre what happened at that synagogue. I really find it very, very strange that the police, because the police normally, if the firearm police, they're normally they're trained, they take 1 shot when they have a shot, and they don't shoot loads of people, and then we managed to get a terrorist, but we also killed. It's so weird that they missed. I do not understand what's going on.
Keir Starmer right now is chucking the file into the drain outside.
I'm sure the CPS.
I don't think we'll be doing that one.
There'll be a full investigation by the CPS. I'm sure it'll all be sorted out.
I'm sure it'll all be lost. Louise Brooks Bob says altered or synthetic content. This is from 13 days ago. I cannot remember what that's about. I'm sorry, Louise.
I think it's at the beginning of this video, failure to launch. There's what's his face from the streets talking about Peter Mandelson, and that is a real clip. Of course, we don't alter anything on this channel. She's just being a dick. So I went on her channel, and on the first video I could find, I wrote that comment because that's how I spend my time.
That's what you're like. Rodney Reed says Jimmy Savile was Keir Starmer's daddy. Wow, that would be a good twist for your 28 Years Later movie, wouldn't it? I don't know about anything. Says, who is to blame for this? I think he's or she is referring to our show.
How shit it is. No, I think no. This is also a regular viewer, so I think that he or she or whatever is referring to your party being just a piece of crap.
Oh, okay. Chongo says, hey, Cheech, and I think that they were referring to me. So I've replied saying, yo, Chongo.
That was great. That was a great interaction. And I'm glad that we have addressed it in the pod itself.
We're going out for drinks with Keir Starmer and the head of the CIA next week. Pat oh my god, sorry, Pat. It's just difficult when it's all mushed together as a word. Pat McAleenan says, was that a Weekly Planet Rodney pull?
That's a great name, McAleenan. That's good.
McAleenan, yeah,
really
good.
It was, by the way, Pat. It was a Weekly Planet Rodney pull.
Excellent.
That's the end of that.
Daniel Laker 92 says, I've been watching this podcast.
No, we've done this one.
Oh.
That's it. Is that all we've got? Sorry, state of affairs. No, I think there are others that are just hidden secretly by.
Oh, sometimes you need to go to newest.
It's
such a. I don't know why is the internet so badly designed. Hedger Mona Smith says, at the top.
No, we did that one.
Okay. It's Hegemony Smith says it does need to be said that the Exodus, known in Judaism as Passover or Pesach, is actually a complete myth. It celebrates the supposed liberation of the Israelites from slavery in Egypt and their flight to the promised land.
Oh my God, this is long.
Okay, let's keep it light, Hegemony Smith.
Does it need to be said? Does all of this need to be said?
I don't know.
What modern scholarship provides no support whatsoever for the how do you historicity whatsoever for the historicity. Is that how you? I feel like this is not spelt right. Is that how you spell it? Historicity. Isn't there another I of the biblical story? What is this about? This is a video from like 4 years ago that they're commenting on. Anyway,
yeah.
The same goes for much of the content of the Hebrew Bible. Yet people still believe this stuff.
Well, look.
Okay, it was
so long that my battery's about to run out.
Yeah, it was a bad idea. Maybe YouTube is right. Maybe YouTube's good to hide some comments. It knows. It knows what's right. It knows what's worth looking at.
Don't worry, I've made sure that I've deleted that comment because it was too confusing. I'm doing it for all the right reasons.
Maybe we'll address this comment next week after actually reading the whole of it.
After going to church.
Right,
everybody. I think it's time to leave now. It's way past time.
It is past time.
Right. Okay. Should we leave with a bang? Woo!
Well, we're actually
Halloween. Happy Halloween, everyone.
We could leave with a bang.
Yep.
Or we could play out the clock, which is 5 minutes 33 seconds.
Is that some kind of achievement for you to stay on the phone for that long?
No, it's just that normally we wait for it to cut. We don't have to do that, Matt. We are masters of our own destiny.
Yeah, you can do anything you like in this life.
Exactly. So maybe you should just say a few final words, maybe a bit of housekeeping.
Yep, housekeeping. Yep, sure.
Talk about the channel, what people should do.
Okay, so this is what you should do. If you're still listening to this, you should go outside. No, I'm kidding.
No. No.
Go outside on your phone.
Never look at YouTube again. You're wasting your life on this fucking YouTube bullshit. It's not going to get you anywhere. I mean, that's probably more than myself.
You should. What else did I ever make? Oh, you should go to my. No, I've told.
Oh, yeah,
I think I did all my identity.
Yeah, but it's different people every week. Talk about what's your book.
Substack, YouTube. Go to my Scourge of the Spin Machine. Go to Complaints on a Plate. Click like on it. It all helps. It's a fucking pain in the ass to get anything to go anywhere or get any audience or anything.
I know it
Come
is.
and help us out for
Exactly.
Christ's
Fucking
sake.
hell, man. Just press like.
Just press
nothing
like.
else.
What? It's not going to do you any harm.
And this is the thing. I mean, we'll see the views. And the views will be whatever they are, and the likes will be
the same every week. Fucking 400.
Yeah, the same. And some people will quit the channel, and then other people will join, and it will go between 66 and 60.
Like a clockwork orange.
What's the name of your book?
National Security Cinema. That's a fucking great book.
It's a fucking great book. I've not read it, but a fucking great book, I tell you.
Union Jackboot. I just clicked the button on Union Jackboot the other day, and now there's an audio version on Audible that did it in like 2 seconds.
So that's going to be great, isn't it?
Listen.
Some AI thing is
not. That's a book about British foreign policy from 2018.
Why you do this stuff? Why don't you do an audio version that's actually good?
I couldn't be bothered to read the whole fucking thing. I did do it for my original book, Real Power: Hollywood Cinema and American Supremacy. You can go to my YouTube. The whole book is recorded there with updated case studies all the way up to the present day of Hollywood movies that have been manipulated by the Pentagon and CIA. Go and watch that. Go and watch that while you're out on your fucking walk.
Oh yeah, what's that documentary called? Theatres of War.
Theatres of War. That's fucking best documentary ever fucking made.
Where can one watch that, Matt, online?
And that is
for free?
on Vimeo. You'll have to Google it, but you find it on Vimeo. I think it might be like $4 or $5.
Why
Theatres of War is about the CIA and.
Why is there a paywall?
I'm not sure. It's because it's whoever the distributor is, which I know it is. It's MEF.
When's that run out? Can you not put it on your YouTube?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. There are clips, I think, up on my own YouTube, which so you can follow that. And like I said, all of my stuff to do with my research is out there in one way or another, like for free and
not all of it.
But follow free. Well, not that particular film, I suppose. That's true.
It is a good film, though. If you do have $4, it would probably be better if you were. I'm talking about what's his face now, getting drunk and wanting to give money to this channel. Money that would be better spent, grand dude, would be just to go watch that documentary by Matt, because at least you get something for your money. Whereas if you're just giving it to this channel, it's just gonna be wasted, I imagine. But other people, if other people want to give money to this channel, it won't be wasted. I'll tell you that much. I'm trying to sell your dog.
It's a long 5 minutes, isn't it?
We're on 1 minute 37 seconds. I'm trying to get people to go and pay $4.
I don't remember what else I've ever written.
What about the man with no hands?
The Writer with No Hands, that's just been sold to Paramount.
Oh, really? Okay, are they going to make a film?
Like
Charlton
10
Heston.
years after we made the film, it's been fucking sold to Paramount. And so that's on telly somewhere.
So is it on? Oh, because Paramount have a channel, like a sub thing to Amazon. So is it on Amazon?
I really don't know what it is. We got a slightly higher paycheck for the year than we usually get.
The Writer with No Hands. Let's see if you can buy it on Amazon. The Writer.
Oh, I'm sure you. Oh, yes, that is a good question. There's the Right with No Hands stage.
We've got less than a minute. We're down to
Oh, thank God for that. We're nearly there.
But that means we don't know how much time to. Okay, the book.
I did a stage.
But there's a documentary, isn't there? The Right with No Hands documentary.
There's a documentary which I just sold to Paramount. But that is available. You can find that online for. I think that's free online somewhere.
Well, don't say that because Amazon are selling it now. Oh no, this video is currently unavailable to watch in your location. But if you're in the US, you probably could pay to watch it. That would be good, wouldn't it? I don't know how much you would pay.
There's also a stage play version, which was only ever performed once because of bloody lockdown. And I put the stage play version out as a script, which I'm quite pleased with as well. But it's a picture of a man with a typewriter on his head.
What's it called?
And it's again just The Writer with No Hands. I just put out the script as cheaply as I possibly could on Amazon. So yeah, loads of things. Follow my things.
Follow things.